Welcome to the Ambitious Introvert podcast, created especially for introverts, empaths, and highly sensitive entrepreneurs to help you build, grow, and scale a successful, sustainable business. I'm your host, Emma-Louise Parks, business and mindset coach for ambitious introverts. After 17 years working as an air traffic controller, the ultimate fast-paced, high-stimulus, extrovert-friendly role, my mission now is to show introverts that they too can create big results and success because of who they are, not in spite of it. I focus on introvert-friendly business and marketing strategy to help you switch Overwhelm for clarity, confidence, and clients. Hi, and welcome to this solo episode of the Ambitious Introvert podcast with me, Emma-Louise Parks, your fellow ambitious introvert. I hope you are doing great. So today's subject is going to be research, something that us introverts love and something that is really, really necessary in building any kind of business. But I wanted to go a little bit deeper and actually look at the pros and cons of research in your online business, because there are ways that it can be super beneficial, really great, and there are ways that it can really take up our time and actually hold us back from taking action. So as introverts, we do love to research. That's no secret. We love to learn and we love to feel prepared. So researching ticks all of those boxes for us. It makes us feel great. We enjoy doing it and we feel like we're doing the right thing to push ourselves along. And whether you've got a new business or an established business that you're looking to grow and scale by adding new services or products, it's going to require some amount of research, like no doubt about it. So first of all, let's look at the pros. From an introvert point of view, it's so great to feel prepared. We love that. Often over-prepared, but yet feeling prepared. So that's something that research helps us do straight away. And because we internalize and think things through quite a lot, having that solid foundation of knowledge is really important to us, because we're like, okay, I'm going to research this, I'm going to get all the options, I'm going to learn it. And then, of course, you're going to internalize it and mull over it and make sense of it internally in your own mind. So having that feeling of being prepared because you know you've looked at all the information makes us feel really great. Another thing it does is it gives us permission. Let me explain what I mean by this. So let's say I'm looking to get some new software and I've got 3 options. I'm going to go and I'm going to look into all the options. I'm going to go to the website of each one. I'm maybe going to download it, look at the beta, and then I'm going to read reviews. I'm probably going to ask people I know what they use and how they found it. And then what I've done is I've spent all this time looking into these options, and maybe the one that I'm going to take is a bit more expensive or more of a commitment. But what I've done there is given myself permission, because I go, oh, okay, I've looked at everything. I know that this is better than this because of A, B, and C. And I know that this one was worse because of X, Y, and Z. So I've allowed myself to make that decision. I've given myself permission to make a choice, to invest, etc. And just a side note here that I find quite interesting. Since working with only introverts, when I do my client intake questionnaire, almost 100% of people I work with are now questioners in the 4 tendencies. If you've not done your 4 tendencies quiz, I highly, highly recommend it. If you Google Gretchen Rubin 4 tendencies, and I'll put the link in the show notes, it's definitely worth doing. So I am out and out a questioner, which means that I need to take information in and process it and understand myself before I take action. And I'm wondering if this is an introvert thing, because it seems to be really prevalent. So yes, so this gives us permission because it's like we've looked at all the options and we know that we've done a good job of researching, and we now allow ourselves to spend money or commit time, whatever that is. And the last pro is it really gives us a mindset boost. Like if you feel prepared and you feel like you know what you're doing, you're much more likely to go and actually do it. So if it's the difference between showing up and writing some content that you've researched, or showing up and writing some content that you're kind of doing on the fly and you don't feel that confident about it, you're much more likely to do it if your mindset's saying, yes, I've looked into this, I know what I'm going to do, I'm prepared. So 3 pros are: it allows us to feel prepared when we've researched, It gives us permission to make those decisions, and it also gives us a mindset boost. So let's move on to the cons. Sadly, there are more cons than pros, introverts. So the first is we are likely to get overwhelmed with various options. And I get this all the time, and I know my clients do. So it's that paradox of choice. There's actually too much choice. And because we're introverts, that causes us too much stimulus. And when we get too much stimulus, we get exhausted. And then we just get so exhausted and overwhelmed that we can't make the choice in the first place. And this leads to something that you may have heard called analysis paralysis. So we get stuck in this research loop, which drains us and makes us so tired that we never actually make the decisions. Or when we do, it takes way, way longer than it needed to. And I am so guilty of this. Actually, I'm a recovering analysis paralysis person, I'm going to say, because I have come up with ways now to make sure that I don't get stuck into that loop, because it just takes so much time and energy from me. But that option to get overwhelmed is so, so real. The next con is motion versus action. And this one is so important, and I see it all the time in business owners at every level. When you research something, you feel busy. And you're researching something towards your business. It's not like you're just relaxing or having fun. So you know you're putting those hours into your business. But actually, they are not the hours that you need to move that needle forwards towards sales or whatever your goal is. Like, you can read the books, you can read all the reviews, you can consume all the content and the free training, and it's going to take up your time. But realistically, it's probably not going to move you forwards in any way. So that's what I call motion. Action are the things that are going to move that needle forwards. So being visible in your business, talking about your offer or your products and sharing them to people, creating your own content to put out, making connections with your audience. They are the things that done consistently are going to boost your business. But it's so easy to fall into that trap of motion where you feel like you're busy and you feel like all the things you're doing are contributing towards your business, but they're not. Another way to look at it is passive action versus active action. So the passive is in the background. It's stuff you're doing alone in the background, but it doesn't really benefit anyone else. The active is the public action. So people are getting to see what you've created, what you're putting out there, what you're talking about. And as an introvert, it's really, really easy to fall into the motion stroke passive section of this. So beware. And one element of research that I will talk about, which is possibly the most important research you can do for your online business, is market research. Getting to know how your audience feel, what their biggest challenge is right now, and what they desire more than anything is the whole basis of my introvert-friendly marketing system. It means that you can talk to them with clarity. Your content is so targeted and so powerful because you know exactly what they want and you know how to show them that you are the person to help them. And in an extrovert-friendly online space where a lot of people just seem to be shouting louder, using more capital letters, putting more emojis, more and more videos, this is actually really important, just to go back to these basics of what do my audience need and how can I show them that I understand them and I can help them with the transformation that they require. So my challenge to you today as a fellow introvert is to really go through these cons. So think about getting overwhelmed because there are too many options, the analysis paralysis where we're just stuck in this research loop and we get so tired that we don't actually make a decision, and the motion versus action. So this busy work in the background that's not really pushing us forwards. Think about those three. And I want to think, which are you guilty of? There may be more than one, but where do you recognize yourself? And where can you look at your actions and go, yeah, I'm probably spending too much time on that. And then once you've got this awareness and once you've realized you're doing it, can you commit to doing less of this? So maybe you find yourself down this rabbit hole of, oh, I'll just start looking at this free content and then I click on someone else and I look at something else. Can you just bring that to your awareness as you do it and think, this isn't going to be moving that needle forwards for me? As much as I wish it would, it won't. So are you ready to step out of that passiveness and into the action that's actually going to grow your business? I really, really hope this has been useful, guys. I would love to hear any of your takeaways from it. Best place to find me is on Instagram at Emma-Lou Parks, Parkes. DM me, let me know how you found this. Any feedback is appreciated. I love connecting with you all. And take care until next time. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Ambitious Introvert podcast with me, Emma-Louise Parks. If you enjoy this show, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review on iTunes. As a thank you, one lucky reviewer each month will win a 60-minute one-on-one coaching session with me, where you'll get the clarity and confidence to attract your ideal clients. And if you know someone who could benefit from listening to the show, then please do share and help me reach as many fellow ambitious introverts as possible.